Specifically, this one dude named Jesse Wells, who I actually enjoy his ability to write very simple, well-formatted songs. But he's doing these new terrible take, these liberal cucky take. It's the worst, dude. I'm about to roast the shit out of him right now. I didn't want to do this, Jesse. You know, I thought we can be maybe buds in the future, but you did it to yourself. We're gonna have a field day right now with this. You guys have no idea the level of cringe. We're gonna watch it all the way through, and all of us, we're gonna go one little stanza at a time. We'll call this Refuting Jesse Wells. Now, I don't know if he wrote this or he's reciting some poet, maybe this French philosopher, potentially, Jean-Paul Sartre. That's your first mistake. French. The combination of French and philosophy, terrible idea. We've been libbed. I think we got libbed. We may have gotten libbed, clicker. I never got the notification for your streams. I don't know what that's going on, Chase. I don't know what's going on with that, but clearly we got attacked. I had 900 people in the chat. Clearly we got attacked. Have I talked about Companion? No, I'm waiting another week for people to watch it, Jeremiah, and we'll discuss Companion. So anyway, this is Jesse Wells. I can't tell you how much I despise this thing right here. Like, everything about it. I hate that he's sitting on the bank of a hill with grass. I don't like it. I don't like the aesthetic. I don't like his raspy smoker voice that he's like sort of like really kind of leaning into. I mean, it doesn't help that he literally looks like a 5-year-old. Looks like a little 5-year-old sitting in the grass at a picnic, like trying to find ants. He's going to tell us about war. Are you guys ready for this? I don't know if you guys are ready for this. Get your barf bags. And this is what I'm referring to. This is when artists, like musical artists or comedians or whatever, they get some level of notoriety and then they feel this weird urge to divert from their creativity and their medium to going into this like preachy, you know, the gospel of fucking secular artists. So here we go. We're going to watch it. I'm going to not stop it. This is a good test for me. Okay, here we go.
The heroism of war is a lie. It's not the bravest who fight, but those who have no other choice. It's not the noble who die, but those who are the least equipped to avoid death. The glory of war is a mask put on to cover the despair of a people without hope. War is the manifestation of a society that's lost its meaning. Every life is disposable for a national or political ideal. When the rich wage war, it is the poor that die. The sacrifice is always made by those who have the least to gain. War is sold to the public as a necessary
Are you going on a little hike? You going on your little nature hike?
evil. The powerful and the rich painted
I want to smash a guitar on that guy's head.
as a moral crusade, but the crusaders are the poor and the disenfranchised. This war will be a war of fear. It has been purposed thusly. People let it in slowly, like a kind of ecstasy. They believe in it like they believe in chiromancy.
Okay, Yoda. Okay, Silver Lake Yoda.
And fortune-telling. They believe in it like they believe in anything that releases them from the forging of their own destiny. Men love their fear. It reconciles them with themselves. Men get the war they deserve.
Okay, Space Cadet. Okay, let's go. Now, just hearing the tone of it and the presentation, we're already barfing. We're already having a problem here. I mean, this is. But we're actually gonna now we're gonna actually have to Malibuda, dude. That's hilarious, Malibuda. Look at him sitting on the beach corner. The beach corner. This is the type of douchebag that for no reason at all, just for aesthetic, he grabs the stick and the little bandana tied to the stick in all of the Norman Rockwell paintings with the sandwich and the stick. And, oh, he's going for a little hike. He's going for a hike with my stick. I'm so wildernessy. I'm so salt of the earth and grounded. Just fuck you, dude. Excuse my language. Alter Void, $5. Wow, if they really have their way and the aliens comes, we're so effed for real. No, the aliens turn around, dude. They're like, what is this? Where do you sign up for his cult? He's this close, Radio. He's this close. Okay, let's take this one stanza at a time. Now, I don't know if this is Jean-Paul Sartre's words, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're his words or not. We're going to look at the words and spot the lies here. Spot the lies.
The heroism of war is a lie.
That's actually not true, first of all. That's not true at all. So let me get this straight, Jesse. Timo Mick Jagger. I almost said another one, but that would have been a violation of TOS. More like Mick. 50 pesos from Well Emmanuel. I said thusly, I am so deep. Okay, so his opening statement is already false. There are examples of war being heroic. When you fight against evil and it requires force, Jesse, which you would know nothing about, G minor chord guy, you're just sitting on the edge of a beach that was developed by men and defended over centuries of people who died so you can sit on your little beach with your contrived raggedy hair. Malibuda. I can actually write that right now. Okay, Malibuda. Okay, Malibuda. Nice. I feel justified. Clicker, $20. Did he watch the Doors movie? Yeah, Doors. His next thing is going to be the Doors of Perception. I've got a rant and broken voice. This is what it sounds like to be a poet. It's like, shut up. We all know Bob Dylan was full of shit. It never amounted to anything, by the way. Changed nothing. Nothing. So no. Opening statement?
The heroism of war is a lie.
No, it's not. No, it's not a lie. That's false. That's historically false. As a war veteran, I think I would really enjoy meeting this guy in person. Yeah, Jason, I bet you'd have some things to say.
It's not the bravest who fight, but those who have no other choice.
What an insult. What an absolute insult. This is like kind of rhetoric they use for black people to excuse their crimes. They have no other choice. Oh, so they're not brave. So it's not brave to fight in a just war. It's just they had no other choice. Right. Okay. Okay, buddy. Boy, does this guy need a real smack against his little wig head. You little zit. You look like you're 5'2". And that's coming from me. That says a lot.
It's not the noble who die.
Fluke Skywalker. He does have Skywalker vibes, doesn't he? What about the Dagobah system?
Their choice. It's not the noble who die, but those who are the least equipped to avoid death.
What? That would have to be... What do you mean? Anyone who dies would debunk that. Everyone dies. No one's equipped to avoid death, Jesse. Whelp. What a failure.
The glory of war is a mass.
Where are you anyway? What do you... Would you get a ticket to some paradise island? Sitting on a cliff of, you know, sitting on almost literal heaven, complaining? I'm sitting on a beach. I want to fight war with a YouTube video. People who die, die. Wow. Wow, top tier.
Mask put on.
I used all my monetization to take a trip to Ireland. I decided to sit on the cliffs of Ireland and make a complaint video about war. The irony of being able to go to Ireland and it still being called Ireland. Huh?
To cover the despair of a people without hope. War.
No. No. In fact, the act of war is hope. Not always, but the act of war can be very hopeful. In fact, that's like the last line of defense or offense, is war. The hope of defeating, let's say, evil in a material sense, not to reduce evil to material or to human beings, but if you're actually in a just war, there's hope. He's basically saying there was no hope in stopping Stalin. No hopeful. It's not hopeful. It's not hopeful to end some of these horrific regimes. It's not hopeful. You're such a pussy, dude. What an absolute puss. Go on. No, please, go on. We want to hear.
War is the manifestation of a society that's lost its meaning.
No! War is the manifestation of a society that protects its meaning. You loser. You're such a loser, dude. Just gibberish, dude. No. Historically, war is actually when two conflicting or contradictory worldviews, customs, traditions, practices are in close proximity or one wants the other. It's actually the defense of meaning. Or, if it's on offense, it's the sense that you ought to spread your meaning, even if it's by force. Some of these people, whether that's right or wrong, it's descriptively false, Jesse Wells, that war is an expression of lost meaning. It's the total opposite, dude.
Every life is disposable for a national or political ideal. When the rich wage war, it is the poor that die. The sacrifice is always made by those who have the least to gain.
What a commie.
War is sold to the public as a necessary evil. The powerful and the rich paint it as a moral crusade, but the crusaders are the poor and the disenfranchised. This war will be a war of fear. It has been purposed thusly. People let it in slowly, like a kind of ecstasy. They believe in it like they believe in chiromancy and fortune-telling. They believe in it like they believe in anything that releases them from the forging of their own destiny.
Contradiction. I don't know, Jesse. Have there been entire civilizations and societies who literally justified war under the same supposition that they get to write their own destiny, you absolute retard? Hello? So war is an excuse not to follow your own destiny, but habitually and historically, people have crafted wars under the pretense that they're actually fulfilling their destiny.
Men love their fear.
Oh, dude, I would pay, how much money would I pay? I think I would pay about $5,000 to break his guitar over his dumb Luke Skywalker looking head.
It reconciles them with themselves. Men get the war they deserve.
Okay, buddy. Who told you to keep that weird stare at the end, by the way? Fucking weirdo. Hello? We get it. You're sad. This is deep and I'm 14. Look at these 2,000 plus comments. Let me see what his base is saying. We have to get our finger on the pulse of the revolution. It's all so revolutionary, you know. Once you get the distinction, and I think you really get it from a Christian view. Once you get the distinction of revolutionary, you can't unsee it when it pops up. You cannot unsee it. This is great. Hannibal says, right off the bat, Jesse Wells, I hope you read this, you little turd. You little mountain turd. You little cliff turd. He says, everything he says is completely false. I don't like war. It's a terrible thing, especially modern war. But in war, history proves that the nobles, actually nobility, are the most likely to die because they tend to lead from the front. Yeah, historically. War also tends to kill the best and the brightest of the nation, as officers have higher intelligence, literally making more vulnerable targets while harder to replace. Yeah, leaders get targeted too, yeah. A nation without hope is actually less likely to wage war because they don't believe in anything. They surrender easily since they don't even know what they're fighting for in the first place. The brave are not those forced to fight, but those with the highest capacity to empathize with the suffering of their comrades. In a sense, they're forced to be brave because of empathy. I wouldn't really go that route, but making them more likely to die and sign up for war out of a sense of duty. I would agree with that, and those around them. The rich don't like war because it destroys trade and commerce. Culture, since the 1970s, has been reflecting an absurd image of a false self-importance, perfectly illustrated by the endless repetition of pseudo-profound platitudes, both in society and in this video. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nailed it. In my opinion, he says. This staggering sense of self-importance is produced by nothing but democratized mediocrity and is the only historically unique thing about us as a modern peoples. The sole exception to this is our technology, most of which has in fact been built on inherited from our betters. Yeah, this guy wins. I mean, in fact, I think even after this stream is done, you should make a point to go over to Jesse here and not harass, but leave your comment, and certainly Hannibal here, Hannibal Wolf, who left this just 13 minutes ago. Give him a thumbs up. Give this comment a thumbs up anyway. You can't miss it. It's at the top. It's so sad, the negative comments. Shut up. It's always a chick. I I really have a firm believer that Jesse Wells is the 16th incarnation of the Doctor from Doctor Who. No one deserves war. Gay, yeah, it's funny, this guy. Yep. War is bad. How insightful. That's funny. If only all men were famous on YouTube, then they probably wouldn't have to take part in war, being desperate to gain at least the tiniest of bit of sense. I don't even know if that person's serious. What a disgusting human being. Agreed. Bro, completely lost it. The rich are to blame, but you deserve it anyways. Yeah. Sartre was a communist. Yeah, so, you know, what we're seeing is this guy's just like a filthy little commie. A filthy little commie. And like all commies, by the way, at least modern self-proclaimed commies, unlike the commies of the past, they have no willingness, or balls to use the force that would be necessary to implement their worldview or to defeat the oppositional worldview or practice. They're just a bunch of cowards, and this guy's included. Write us a sing-along, Jesse, about, I don't know, the pharmaceutical industry or something, right? Get back to work, buddy.